When we do, number one, when we do Dharma work, after a while we burn out, have negative thoughts and regrets. Why? What did Anila mention as the cause and the solution? What example she gives of a religious order that grows and grows and grows and gets stronger and not weaker? Why do we get burned out after we do karma, or we do Dharma work for a while? What's the real reason behind that? So if we don't study the Dharma, we don't know why we're really doing it. We just say it's good, Dharma, we do la. A lot of people drop out. Then they get disappointed. And then number two, they don't listen to the Dharma, study, and they don't contemplate the Dharma. So they know very little, and they get very angry. Anything happened in a meeting, Dharma meeting, anything difficult, anybody difficult, they want to quit, they want to run, they can't do it. Why? Not because the situation is difficult, because they themselves don't have knowledge to handle it. And then on top of that, those of us who don't want to do our commitments, break our commitments all the time, our sadhanas and practice meditations, we burn out. You know why? Because those actually support our Dharma work. So that's what Anila mentions. Breathing in is the knowledge, is the contemplation, is the practice, is the retreats. In our case, breathing out is doing the work. And when we do that, you know what happens? Your Dharma work increases, it becomes bigger and bigger and grows. And you never, ever give up. The people who give up, they only do active Dharma. They don't do contemplative. A person, you want to tell whether they do contemplations and meditation. Even they say they don't do contemplations. Even they say they don't do meditations. You can tell whether they do meditation or not if they don't give up. If they give up, or they throw a BF, or they complain, or they make an excuse why they want to run away, that's a clear sign they don't meditate. And so they're not bad, they didn't know. A person who never gives up, a person who continuously pushes themselves to help others in any way, shape, or form, constantly, is a person who does a lot of meditation, a lot of contemplation, a lot of study and practice. You may not see it. Why? They have the result. Since they have the result, you don't need to watch them like a spy to see if they practice. They have the result. So no matter how difficult the situation is, no matter how hard a person is, no matter how stubborn a person or a situation is, this person will never give up. This person will never abandon. This person will never even contemplate. Why? Because they have fed themselves with knowledge. Why that happens? Contemplation to go deeper into their mind so it sinks in, and practice to enhance, to collect the merit for that realization to come. And therefore, that type of person never gives up. Never. A person who gives up is clear sign, no contemplation, no study, no practice. Clear. I just give up. They support someone, all of a sudden the person does something wrong, bye-bye. Oh, yes. Oh, they do Dharma work? Oh, I don't like that person. They're like that, bye-bye. Oh, I don't like this person, bye-bye. It's a clear sign, no contemplation. Clear sign. And that arises from your laziness because you're either busy, or you're a failure, or you're just lazy. It's all connected. All very connected. Very connected. Those who do not give up either meditated tremendously in their previous lives. So even at a very young age, they don't give up and they pursue spiritual practices. It's a result of their previous life's meditation. Why? It's a continuum, same mind. In this life, you will see them increase and grow and grow and grow. Why? They have contemplation, meditation, and practice. Clear sign. So that's why I say you don't need clairvoyance to check out people's actions, what they're doing. I always tell you guys, if you study the scriptures, if you listen, if you watch Lam Rim, you will be like you have clairvoyance. You can watch their body, their speech and mind. You can watch their eyes, the way they talk, their body movements, and you will know what they're thinking, what they're doing, and if they're lying, what's going on. Immediately you will know. Just like a psychologist can look at a person, something wrong. They talk to you, you're not sure. They talk to a psychologist immediately say, it's like that, their mind's like that, trauma's like that. Immediately. Why? They've studied. So in Dharma, if you study Dharma, you'll be able to read another person very clearly and very quick. They cannot fool you. You can let them think they fooled you to benefit them for now. And then through practice, through the tantras, if you gain any type of higher insight, then you got double. How wonderful. So whatever excuses people give you, you can cut right through it with wisdom and Dharma. That's why I say Dharma is supreme. Best psychology.